Right now, let's see if the telephone system works here, and it's time to go to sports. Good morning, Mike.
I'm here.
Did you have much rain down there?
It looks like we got like a tornado, the whole county.
Well, we just got
ton of rain, trees are down. It's a mess. I'm lucky I have power.
Yeah, we got a ton of rain here last night. Our transmitter must have got struck by lightning last night because that's phasing in and out, going. Sounds like it's coming from Neptune.
There's 200,000 people down here without power.
Well, I hope they were Yankee fans. Because I last night put on the game, and in the first inning when they had a triple play on them, I said, this is not going to be their night, and I turned it off.
Triple play, Sabathia got hit more than a rented mule.
Triple play, 5 home runs, I guess, for Twins hit against them, and it was still an 8-6 game.
Yeah, they hit 4 of Sabathia in 4 innings. He only lasted 4 innings, and he got walloped. I didn't see him yelling and throwing at people last night.
No, he probably yelling and throwing stuff at inside the locker room. But anyway.
He looked like a baby on the mound ready to cry.
But whenever in the first inning of a game, when you get into a triple play, I just said to myself, you know what? This is not going to be a good night, so I might as well get a full night's worth of sleep. But anyway, so
you can imagine I was smiling.
Yeah. Ear to ear.
Oh, yeah.
Ear to ear. All right. Well, what else happened to the weather in sports?
The Giants, believe it or not, they're playing some pretty good ball.
They're playing great ball.
Since the All-Star break. They were losing to the Cubs yesterday 4-2. This game was on TV. Bottom of the 8th inning. Put together a 3-run rally with no home runs, a rarity. And they came back to beat the Cubs yesterday 5-4. And the Giants are now over 500 and in very big contention for the wild card in the National League. So you could forget about the Giants trading off people unless they hit a severe slump within the next week.
Yeah. By the way, one other thing I wanted to point out from the Hall of Fame ceremonies, when they were introducing players, and they were mentioning their accomplishments, most of the players now got a little thing added to their, when they mentioned all their records and stuff, and you know what that was? In the live ball era.
Yeah, good.
In the live ball era.
Especially if a pitcher puts up good numbers, it should be definitely pointed out that it was in the I call it the Super Bowl era.
Yeah, the live ball era. Unbelievable. In the tennis ball era.
Yeah, we didn't get to it yesterday, but I was watching the game on ESPN Sunday night, and those 3 people are a ship of fools.
Oh, terrible.
The score was 7-0. They said it was 7-1. For whatever reason, Rodriguez started talking about ages. So he was saying how young the team was, and he says if you take so-and-so and so-and-so, the average age is 42. No, it's the total age, you moron. He was adding 2 numbers and saying the average age. There was 2 guys, like one was 21, one was 20, and he's saying you add up, the average age is 42. Huh?
Well, that's how he figured out.
And I love the way that he turns S's into like that all of a sudden. They're idiots on that show.
Well,
all 3, the 3 Stooges, there they are, reincarnate.
Do they still sit in the stands?
They sit, who knows where they should sit on top of a pole.
Yeah, I don't like ESPN's coverage.
Terrible. And they complained about Joe Morgan and John what's his name when they were on ESPN. They should be begging them guys to come back.
I loved Joe Morgan when he was on ESPN. I thought he was good.
He was despised. People hate him. They say he was a homer. Oh, my God. So look at what you got up there now.
Oh, well.
What a joke.
All right.
Can't listen to them.
I watched it once, and I said, this is... Now, I'm a broadcaster, okay, and I'm used to seeing broadcasting over the ages, okay? And you're a baseball fan, so you're used to watching TV coverage and listening to radio coverage, okay? And yes, on radio coverage, every team has their homer, okay? But TV coverage basically should be pretty much standard. You're in the booth, but now ESPN has them sitting in the crowd. They even do interviews while the game's going on.
Yep.
So they show pictures. Yeah, I know you can see it, but you don't want to be distracted by somebody being interviewed at the same time. And then I also hate the thing when they interview the coaches.
Between innings.
Yeah, I think that's just wrong to the coaches.
Leave them alone. They're doing a job.
Yeah, I just think that's absolutely wrong.
For my money, Keith Hernandez is the best color guy. I like him. He calls it the way it is. If you stink, it doesn't matter what hat you're wearing. He says you stink. If you make a mistake, it doesn't matter what hat you're wearing. He tells you made a mistake. Ron Darling's a little bit wishy-washy. But the Mets broadcasters, in my opinion, I don't hear them all because I don't have the feeds from all these other teams. But around that I've seen, the Mets broadcasters are the best.
Uh-oh. Well, they got to be the best at something.
Well, yeah, the Yankees broadcasters drink the Kool-Aid because when they're losing, they start talking about what they do in a grocery store. The Mets broadcasters stay on point, and when they stink, they say they stink. I've never heard a Yankee announcer say that a Yankee stunk. I think it's against the rules of their contract. They get fired immediately.
Well, you remember what happened to Red Barber, right?
No, I'm not that old.
Okay, Red Barber, when he was broadcasting for the Yankees in their horrible 60s, when they were just terrible, he asked the camera crew to shoot a picture of the stadium. There was 683 people in Yankee Stadium that particular night. And this is the original Yankee Stadium, which held what, 60,000 people?
60-something thousand.
Yeah. There was 800 and some odd people in there, and Red Barber mentioned what a shame it was, and he had them shoot the camera crew shoot the empty stadium. He was fired. Red Barber was fired the next day.
Yeah, well, working for the Yankees is like working for the Browncoats. You do something wrong, you disappear.
That's right. All right, what else do we want to talk about in the next minute or two before we get to the weather with Pat Pagano?
Astros are back in force. They played the second-place A's yesterday, beat them 11-1. They won their last 8 out of their last 10. They're hitting on all cylinders, and they're only 2 games and wins behind the Dodgers. The Astros have 65, and the Dodgers have 67. And we all know how good the Dodgers are playing.
Yeah. All right, I got to get on to the weather with Pat Pagano.
Well, it's pouring here right now again.
Well, we've got a nice band of rain coming through our area, too.
Yeah, I was out eating when this storm hit last night, and on my way back to the house, there were trees down everywhere. And I expected to see no power when I got home, but I'm not jinxing myself, but I am looking at my computer right now.
All right, Mike, I'll check with you mañana.
Have a great day, guys.
Take care. That's, of course, Mike Cozzi with the Check on Sports this morning on Robin Hood Radio.